Everybody, what's up? So I filmed this video and I went back and I watched it and I saw like this. I don't know how to describe it because I talk with my hands because I don't know, I just do. I've done it more and more as I've lost more and more hearing. So I'm kind of like frozen with like talking with my hands. It plays for about three or 4 minutes and I go, and it goes back and it's like 3 or 4 minutes, kind of like, "Rrr." So I have to refilm it. But so yeah, I want to talk about, and sorry, I kind of want to talk about this for a couple different reasons actually. Um, One is I can refilm it because it's raining outside, there's thunder, I have nothing to do. It reminds me kind of a conversation that I had with a friend of mine who was a former film student, and he got out of it because said that it's just crazy. He and his wife both were film students. She was a scriptwriter, tried to be a scriptwriter. He was trying to become a producer. They did a lot of independent stuff. And he said in college, one of the things that you learn is that there are no vampire movies made in Africa. I said, what? He goes, yeah. He goes, they bless the rains. But, I was watching a video by a channel called Tabletop Videos. It's an RPG miniature kind of channel. And he talked to Uncle Adam, that's his name in the channel, talks about losing interest in hobbies. And I kind of agree. Because with me for a while, I did lose interest in painting and that, and stuff piled up. But realistically speaking, there was stuff going on that, and even today, there's problems with being able to sit down and get stuff done. Um, it made me stop because I just lacked the passion. It's like playing video games. There was a while where I stopped playing games. I would try to, but I just felt like I couldn't do it. I mean, it's taking forever to do stuff. Well, yeah, because I just don't care. A lot of stuff was getting repetitive at one point, or it's just like I couldn't focus on the game and I had to spend so much time on it. And I found out later on, still haven't finished the game, that there was stuff that I messed up on that I could have actually it was Bravely Default, the first one. I would love to go back, figure out where I screwed up. I missed getting a class. That would have been good. I don't remember the name of it now. Like, do I really want to go back, play all that just to get a class, or just keep going? I'm undecided. I've just been playing the Switch and the Xbox. And there's a lot of stuff, that just put the kibosh on it. When I had my situation where I fell and fractured my femur. I couldn't focus on games because it's so much stuff going on. I tried. And then you had Megers passing away like 3 months later. Jeez, that hit me hard. And even with the Munchkin, having to keep an eye on her, trying to get her up to where she needed to be. You have a cat that's somewhere between 4 to 5 months old. It only weighs a pound, which is not where they should be. It's just ridiculous. Not love for us. How to get her to where she needed to be? I really didn't have the desire to do a lot. I mean, literally, like when I was home, she would be, she still attached herself to me. It's not, she's always been this way because she wasn't socialized enough. She's like whenever she wants to. But she would just fall asleep on me whenever she wanted to. And I would just lay there and I would let her. I wouldn't do much. Because here's this little cat that I'm more concerned about than playing games, reading. Okay, I could get more read because you have a cat on your chest right here. You're like a phone or a book. Even games were hard to play because it's like too much movement. She gave me dirty looks. Still does. But it's just stuff wasn't as important. I just lost that interest because I didn't have that drive. And there are people I've watched and watched. It's like Asian Sleepy. I didn't comment on his videos because I didn't feel like I really had anything to say. And some other stuff happened in between. Long story. And once I got back into his community full time, it was like, yeah, there's so much more. There are games that he's inspired me to play. People like Don Phoenix, Game of Travis, um, Vampire Mike, Cinema Slayer. People who make videos on a long term basis, like Woodland 37, great guy who every once in a while still makes videos. There was a couple of games that I've talked about with him, and he's got me interested in. So having people that interest me and spark that desire to play games is a good thing. There are people that watch my channel in the comment section that do discuss games, where I'm starting to watch their channels more because I didn't know they had one of that, like Bull Z. Terry W talks about both video, movies and games. In the comments, Juiced, people that actually can have a conversation, without anything being made to be this, just not what you want to talk about. There are people that you find that enjoyable and you can talk about stuff. And there are people I've met that I may not talk to on the comment section, but elsewhere. And there are channels I've been finding that I'd like to watch about different other stuff. I've added diorama channels. Literally, I'm not kidding, because the thing is, in my opinion, there are so many people that are maybe the platform that you don't have that. And the other thing is, some gaming channels I used to watch have gotten to this point where they lack that passion, and I see them going, wow, is this how I looked when I was making these videos? But, it's in the past. I have to move forwards, and I have to try to get myself. I kind of started slipping back into this habit of just not caring. And, one game, like, I started playing and I was about to play. I was so excited. So excited for the Ace Attorney games. Bought them day one, And all of a sudden, so I'm going through the Switch store looking for something. And I see Leisure Suit Larry, Wet Dreams Never Dry. Newest Larry game. And I'm like, holy crap. $6. I love Larry games. The only one I've never played is Magna Cum Laude, which I heard was bad. I mean, really bad. And because it doesn't have Larry, which is the main focus of the games, I didn't play it. I kind of want to, but I kind of don't. But I just started playing that. I'm like, I still got to play Hickey City. But Jeebus, the updates that my Xbox needed, because I was playing, certain games on the Switch, hadn't turned on it for a couple of months. I'm going, okay, this is going to take a while. It's like when you find, I had seen that game, not the Lear game, the other one, a couple of people talking about it, but it kind of felt like, yeah, okay, whatever. But when you start watching people who, enjoy it, like when we're watching Easy Sleepy, talking about, like, okay, all right, maybe there's more to it, because he's talking about it from a place of enjoyment. There are so many people that I've seen will just, like, talk about something it feels like to talk about that do plays. That's the thing, when you play a game, you have your own personal take on it. Yes, there's stuff that's linear, there's stuff that's non-linear, but when you can find the enjoyment in it, you're not just playing it for people to watch or that. Or maybe you enjoy having people watch it and you enjoy playing the game while they watch you. I don't know. I'm not here to judge. Not like that, y'all. Keep it out of the gutter. But it's more enjoying to hear about personal experiences. Not only just like seeing somebody play a game is one thing, but hearing them actually talk about their enjoyment is another. It's like it's so interesting how but also how YouTube has kind of put the kibosh on certain things. There have been things where you could watch that. I mean, people would really just talk about, what they thought of the movie and that. I mean, now to an extent with certain things, you have to watch what you say. I'm going, really? I don't know. It's one of those things, but yeah, I mean, there have been times where I've lost interest just because so much stuff in life. That's the thing. Real life sucks. It really does. Because there's stuff you want to do, and you just can't. For me, there's always been something personal going on. One person that helped me, helped kind of make me see things a little bit differently is Lexus Billis Pro. For reasons I won't go into. Um, he he actually did make a difference in my life when talking about certain things. I've never thanked him for it because I'm like, I don't know how to put it, but he has a perspective on certain things that most of us don't see. And it's kind of unique to see it here on YouTube and other places. I don't know how to describe it. I mean, the problem is, I want to state this. I'm a private person to a degree. There's stuff I'll talk about. There's stuff I won't talk about. There's a lot of stuff in my personal life that y'all will never know, unless I talked about it. Even then, I wouldn't tell. I wouldn't say anything here on YouTube because it's private life. Yes, I've talked about a couple of my health problems, but I also do that because I hope that people who go through the same thing might see it and be like, I'm not alone. Because, yeah, you can talk to people and read about stuff, but honestly, you have to take everything with a grain of salt online, no matter where it is. Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, I don't freaking know, YouTube, whatever platform, right? That's actually kind of one of the funny things that we mentioned. In the new Leary game, they kind of make fun of, like, Facebook. What is it? Facebook is Farcebook, Instacrap, Timber. I don't remember what else I'm trying to. I think that's about it. And Apple is called Prune. And trust me when I say this, the filthy humor is there. The unstopped filthy humor of that joke right there. That's why I play it. I love the Leary games because they just have all that humor. And one thing is, if you ever played Leary games, the annoying part's going to always happen. It's going to have that age restriction. Yep. Still does. If you don't know what it is, then you're going to be like, yeah, crap, how come I can't play? What I do want to do at some point, though, is I would love to get all the Leary games. Like if they ever come on sale on Steam. I've heard you can get it for a really good price. And there are ones that I used to have on disc, but I didn't. I don't anymore because of the fact that one of the discs got lost somewhere. I don't know, so it kind of drives me nuts. Apparently, Allo was not involved with the game. Huh, did not know that. He was not unimpressed with the game's title. With everything that I was seeing, I would have thought Al would have been right on board with that. Anywho's your buddy. Sorry, never mind. Al Lowe is a great guy. Wonderful game maker, creator. But yeah, so Sorry for the sidetrack there. But yes, I mean, even like with modeling and miniatures, I felt, like I said, I fell behind on that. Real life, gets in the way of that. There was just, there's stuff that I can't talk about. In all honesty, I can't, because it's one, very highly private stuff, involving people. One person who can't defend themselves, and there's just a mixture of other stuff in there that I don't want. I don't think anybody needs to know. Like, there are people that know certain things, but it's like one of the other people that got me back into gaming. I don't think they know it is my friend who helped me with the Switch and that. Um, they've done a lot for me, and I'm not going to mention their name because I don't know if they've asked me with certain things not to mention it. There's somebody else who's like, hey, you want to see parts of this game or whatever? They hop on for a little bit. Like, yeah, doesn't this game look good? I said, yeah. Don't you wish you could play it? Yeah, but I don't have the system. So after getting like the Xbox, there are a couple of games that I got, I didn't play. And the funny thing was, like, I got Bayonetta. A couple other games, like, you get a new gen console to play old games. Like, I've never had a chance to play these. Trust me, there are a few older games that I would love to get my hands on. But, it's life. And I've gone through a period where I didn't touch the Switch. I admit it. I didn't touch the Switch. I didn't touch the Xbox. I was trying to get movies watched. I'm going to admit, I've tried making this video a couple extra times after the first incident. Nothing ever worked. But yeah, and I'm getting that passion back a little bit more and more again. It's a little bit behind because there's just some stuff got added to the heat recently. Nothing serious, anything like that. Don't worry. It's just kind of like a big throw off. But yeah, it is what it is. It's real life. It's just not. It's not anything to do with YouTube or anything like that. It's just something that happened in real life that set things back. It happens. We can't control it. And that's one of the problems is there's so much stuff we wish we had control over, but we don't. And we hope that it doesn't consume things, and we want it to be different. And, I'm not going to go into certain things like it's nothing to do with like the events of the past year and a half, if you know what I mean. It's other stuff. I'm not going to go into that subject because I know how people feel about it. The thing that starts with a C and ends with an id, but it has nothing to do with that. It's just life. And when real life gets in the way, you're, especially when it hits you a certain way, it's going to cause issues. I wish I'd been more involved in certain people's communities, more than I have been in the past, but I can't change things. Things happen. What do you do? By the way, if you ever should look at this story, I should leave a post to it. I don't know. Wife calls to poison control after her husband's Ex-Lax overdose. Guy basically ate an entire bar of Ex-Lax chocolate, and supposed to eat a couple pieces. So, anyways, yeah, I'm gonna leave it there because I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna try to remake a 30-minute video because honestly, I think I've pretty much gotten everything that I've needed to say said. So thank you very much to everyone who's watched, who keeps watching the channel. Thank you everyone who's kicked my butt into place where it needs to be, getting me back into gaming and so much other stuff that I've needed to where it would be. Y'all know who you are. Thank you. I'll talk to you later. Take care. Bye.